on my channel. Right, boys, welcome. Yeah!
Yes!
Brian, give me a yes. I know your voice is sore, but
Yes!
welcome.
Yes!
Welcome to Green Sunrise Podcast, where today we'll be interviewing not only a co-host, Brian Mitchell has joined us. Brian, how are you doing, mate?
I'm magic as ever. I am psyched.
Psyched.
Boom, we're on. Boom, we're on.
We're back.
Feeling that.
We're back on. It's been, and by the way, what a journey we've been on, Brian. We've been away for a wee while. We're starting to make it serious again, and it's good.
Nah, it's been good. It's been good. A lot of good feedback. Helped some people as well. Some people have been coming up to me different times that Men Matter Scotland are now helping with as well, which is fantastic. And getting a lot of good positive feedback. So yeah, we're still not hitting the Piers Morgan numbers. Why anybody would want to watch him and know us first? But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Who, Brian? Who are we interviewing today?
We are interviewing two of Bishop Briggs' finest, most athletic, not the best looking lads ever. You know, the boy Adam has a very attractive father,
right?
And
who's that?
The boy with a Ibiza boss haircut on next to you, Ben, and young Ben with the best catchphrase known to any running club in the whole entire world. Let's hear it, Ben.
Ben,
you tell me it. You tell me.
Come on. Let's do this.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Every 10 mile or 10k, every 10k. Let's do this.
Ben. Ben, how are we?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I've been speaking to Adam. Who should we go on next? And he's like, you're the main man.
Oh, okay.
But see this, let's do this. Did you get that for Steven Gerrard?
Oh, jeez, no.
No, it's been absolutely phenomenal watching you, mate. Absolutely phenomenal. We're going to get into that today, right? We're going to get into this. This is going to be meaty. But Adam, before we carry on, Adam, how are you, mate?
I'm brilliant, mate. Cannot complain. I mean, I sound like a horse junkie, but I'm doing well, man.
A wee horse junkie. That's all right. We're good for that.
I know a well-sourced, a well-placed source has told me that Adam is injured at the moment. How's that coming along?
It's been all right. It's had its challenges. I mean, it's been a bit dementing, can't lie, for somebody that goes running religiously every sort of day to no going doing any sort of running. It's been tough, I'm not going to lie, but I've been bashing the gym, trying to do what I can to get back as soon as I can. And I had a sort of big year next year with Paris and New York marathons lined up, as long as a backyard ultra as well.
And Paul, how have you been?
Me, I've been all right. I've been gagging to get back into this. Obviously, been keeping busy. I've got a good news with jobs and all that. So it's one of these things. It's been in the background. I've been working hard, going for a lot of interviews, but it's been working out fine for me. So it's been good. It's been absolutely brilliant. But today we're going into a wee bit of something about you boys, the friendship you've got, your running mindset, pushing physically. You push each other physically constantly, and we're going to get into that today. Brian, what would you say should be the first question for these boys today?
Well, how they met, and I'm aware, I know the two boys as well, and Adam being my son, and I know the impact that COVID had to young guys at school, curtailing their activities, how they get involved in running. Adam, like myself, we were both going through bereavement at the time. My mother, his grandmother. So, like any father, Adam has told me zero. So hopefully on this podcast, him and Ben can take us through those dark times.
Aye, and that's what it is, man. So really, how did you meet? Was it just you've known each other?
I mean, for me, for what I remember, it was just before we joined high school, it was sort of, there was this wee football club,
Friday Night Five.
Friday Night Fives at Bishop Academy, just down the street. And my good pal, Nick Dixon, was like, oh, I've started kicking about with this wee guy. He goes to the art school. And I was a bit like, off. You know the type to go there. And so when I first I get introduced, we started going about together and kicking about with me, him and Nick. And then our good pal James as well. And ended up being a wee sort of group of the 40s. It just sort of went through high school. We all sort of drifted apart. But throughout that whole time, with me and Ben have always sort of remained friends throughout. But that's how we met. Just I thought he was an arsehole at the time, just like every great friendship starts. But aye, we're both arseholes, so I think that's what makes it work.
Aye. So was there a lot of banter for the beginning? Was there you supporting each other for the beginning? Because I know that he's on your journey, man. It's this is 2 years doing it together, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, you must push each other. Were you always like that? I suppose you can't answer that for the very beginning, can you?
I would say, like, we went like that from the beginning. It's a lot of banter, give and take, especially going through school. I don't think we were both as narrow-minded as into running and into fitness is what we are currently. But yeah, I think school kind of like made us grow up a lot.
It did. Aye, made me grow up a lot, and I think that, like, even through school, I used to rip into Ben constantly, and we had many a fight, an argument, and called me probably everything you could possibly imagine calling somebody. But I think that's the sort of beauty of it, that we always sort of remained pals. As much at times I hated him, he hated me. I think it's probably brought us to where we are now, where, you know, you can sort of run a certain distance with somebody and either can get on your nerves or get on your tits for 10, 15 minutes, but after that, sorry.
Well, we done a kill walk together. You and I. You know what I mean? How many miles was that?
Oh, that was only, what?
26 or something.
26 miles?
Aye, and we fell out after the first mile or something, and you had to go into an apartment building to do the toilet.
Let's not talk about the 22nd mile, Brian, right? Don't want to go over that one. We still had 4 to go, man.
Can I just say, I've just realised you three all went to Turnbull High School, and I went to a proper school, St Roch Secondary. So right away, you three boys did have that damage and that hurdle to overcome in 20 as such a soft middle class school.
Aye, like, Tumble was alright. I'm not so much with Tumble. St Roch is no bad though.
You sent your son to Tumble.
Exactly, it's your fault.
I couldn't afford the bus fare.
Aye, I suppose when somebody gets kicked out of St Roch, you don't want to send your boy there, know what I mean? So obviously school and all that, right? But was there running like at school? Did you just play football before? I know you're not going to get right into running at school, but did you just play football together?
Aye, played football. I mean, we were both shite, if we're honest. But I played through sort of different teams that played for Eastern Berkshire, different teams, and then we eventually ended up playing in the same team.
In fact, Adam, you were massive into rugby, but weren't you?
I was more a rugby man, sort of, in terms of, well, certainly far better at rugby than I was at football.
To be fair, Ben, you were a good. I remember going to watch you kids, and to see the two years, you made really good subs. I knew then you would go far at running, because see, whenever the coach used to tell you to run for the water bottles, but they boys, look the speed of they boys. They are really good. They can start running far. And I think that was the start of it for me.
Right, so COVID lockdown, right? Was that where your running started seriously? Was it, or was it just through? You said through obviously the death of your grandmate and obviously Brian, your mum. But was it from your mum thing, or were you doing the running
I
before
wouldn't say
that?
it was that initially.
I wouldn't say it was that. I would say that played a massive sort of factor in it. But for me, it was sort of at the time I was training at youth level for Glasgow at rugby and sort of in and about trying to play for Scotland at the time at a youth level. So take it quite seriously. And then our coaches were still trying to push us to go out running. And there was a charity hang on. It was like donate 5, run 5. And you had to take a wee 40. So I went out and I was like, oh, my dad used to do running. This should be easy. I day rugby.
You've done that running, Brian.
Can you turn that volume up there? Just give me the thing. Yes.
He done running, and I thought,
I've done many a 50-yard dash.
Still playing football, so I was like, oh, this will be fine. And then I couldn't run for 2 minutes straight. And then for there, I think it just became a sort of obsession just to even get to sort of that 5K level. And for there, I went back to playing rugby after a couple of months, and I'd lost like 3.5 stone by that point. And for me, my total focus sort of shifted onto running because I was getting scarred by playing rugby. I think when you play it, I think that's a major issue sort of at youth level. They sort of took the joy out of it and they made us play far too much. I was training and playing maybe about 6 times a week, and it was just getting very overbearing. And I just needed something to give me a sort of new lease on life, and then that running just totally took over.
I think it was injuries as well, but because some of the injuries he was getting, it was just consistent.
It was just
and like you're like that to him, like, come on, like you can't have it keep on happening, and then the next one could be one that puts you out forever. You can't do anything else.
Well, you've never recovered. You've never really truly recovered from one of the concussions. You know, you still walk about in the days.
Well, Brian, I remember.
Chetty Donny was concussed. Do you remember that physio night? I'm just sorry to digress. One time he was in, and I was in with the physio, and they were telling him he was concussed, and he would have to have 6 weeks off school, or rugby, sorry, it was 2 weeks off school. And they asked him to say the calendar months backwards. And he was kidding on. He's going, December, November. And I said to the doctor, see if he's off school, will he have to stay off the PlayStation? And he went, December, November, October, September, August, just done it like that. And I went, you'll be going to school. And then obviously COVID happened, and he had to get homeschooled by me. And that made it even worse. So then I just said, go and run. But you need to talk about how much both of you raised for the Beats and charity. You need, Adam, do you know of your name up on lights at Tumble High School because of it?
Yeah, I got the Timber Award because of it. So in my last sort of year at school, we came back, and that's when we were like really starting to take the run sort of seriously. And we were going out, me, Ben, and our pal James at the time. We were going out 10Ks every night. So it was a good excuse at the time because you couldn't really meet up with MD or that many people. And it sort of just took our minds off things. We'll just do a nice wee 10K, which to I know a lot of people is a hell of a lot, but we were doing that.
When you're doing that consistently every day, it
builds up.
Yeah.
Did you have then Liam Heaney on his bike doing the pace setting? Because I think it's only fair you give a shout out to Liam Heaney.
Oh, absolutely. I know, definitely. So a year sort of on from like my grand passing away, we decided to run our first marathon and raise money for the beaching, and luckily we had hundreds of people sort of donating and businesses, and ended up getting about $4,500 at the time, which was just certainly nowhere near what we would have imagined at the beginning, what we would have got, but still the biggest achievement I think I've ever done.
I always thought it was more. Is that how the two years got that 2 weeks? 2 weeks in New York, was it? I was on like $7,500 or something. 3,000 just went missing like that.
But I know that's still probably the biggest achievement I think I've ever had. Regardless of how far I've ran, that's probably still the proudest thing I've ever been.
Aye, brilliant.
You know what I mean? So,
Raising it for a good cause and
Aye.
something that's close to heart as well. So
Aye.
Can I just say, for like mental health purposes, on that day, you started it from our house. You said the beats and t-shirts, and it was extremely moving, but extremely uplifting for, you know, all my family and everybody. God, I'm getting caught up thinking about it. That you know, the beats had been wonderful for my mum, and you know, our last months, and what you I can never, and I know I've said that a million times, but I can never thank you enough. But from a mental health point of view, that certainly got a lot of us through taking on what you boys were doing, and I'd like to take the opportunity while we're on the podcast to thank you and everybody else who done that.
big time.
I've actually got a few photos here, so like I can show you them quickly. I don't know if the camera will show that off too good, but I can send them over and you can shove them on. But that's a good squad is there. They all came
Aye.
out. So in that you've got James, me, Adam, obviously, Liam, Daniel, and Finlay all supporting.
So we had
Full crew. So we appreciate them a lot for coming out, giving up their time as well to come support us. Dafty's running up at Glasgow. Although the route wasn't planned too well, but we'll fly on forward.
We'll blame me for that. I did sort of take us up the canal maybe a bit too far, and we ended up finishing it maybe about 200 metres away from where we were actually meant to finish it. But that just shows you how good the maths and directions are.
Well, you've done great at that, lads, because you've done a ultramarathon. What was that, 67 miles?
And we got lost. So
You get lost. So you probably ended up doing about 70.
Clearly that's that tumble education coming out.
Exactly. You should have went to geography class more. Clearly he's...
I didn't like the teacher.
No, I didn't like the teacher.
How did you go on with when you started running, right? Did you go early? Were you all right with early mornings? Was it after? Was it late ones?
School. Always after school.
Always after school.
Yeah,
Aye.
Probably later at night, to be honest with you.
When the streets were a bit quieter.
Aye, it would be when there was like no cars on the road, and you could just have a bit of peace and quiet to
chat away,
and just be there in the moment.
Aye.
So when did you transition? Because I know you do early morning runs now, right? When did that start to transition? Obviously, school you couldn't really do that because obviously that's where it all began. But when did you start to do early morning runs, and how does that feel?
I think it's definitely been picking up in the sort of last year and a half that we've probably took it a bit more seriously. But I would say that even we went through a phase in the lockdown where we were doing our 10Ks, but we then started having a crack at half marathons and just we were always trying to look to see what would keep us sort of occupied, because I think at that time everybody knows there wasn't a lot to do. You were either sitting just doing nothing, eating, drinking, or there was just not a lot to do. So we were just finding it and we sort of could to kill our time. So we ended up early morning half marathons every weekend, and then we would still do our 10K on a Sunday. It was like, it did become quite relentless to begin with, because we did kind of jump from 0 to 100 very quickly within that first year. But some of the days we had, I still hate early morning running. I despise it. Can't do it.
You'll have to tell everybody about the running club activity. You started your own running club, then moved on to another one.
Yeah,
and the sort of mental health benefits, not just to yourselves, but to the other people in those running clubs. What made you start your own running club, and who got involved, and how did you feel you were benefiting them? And as you know, I tried a walking group alternative. So I saw benefits to that, but I knew how hard it was to keep people motivated, keep people turning up, especially in the winter weather. You just give a wee bit on these running clubs, guys.
Of course. Well, at first when we started our own, it was we wanted sort of a wee group that all our pals could go down on a Sunday morning, and we could sort of connect with different people from, like, even just people that we knew, bringing their sort of pals down. There was more the social aspect of it that we were really trying to appeal to, and I think that's good for MD's sort of mental health, in terms of just getting out and talking to people and not sort of being stuck in their own isolation on a Sunday, because, you know, people have got their own issues in life, and I think even that sort of brief wee hour and a half, couple of hours, they can get out, do a bit of exercise, which is always good for mental health, and then get down, talk to people, meet new people, hear fresh ideas. I think that gives you a sort of new lease on life, and for a mental health aspect, definitely gives you a sort of boost on your Sunday morning that you wouldn't usually get. Because I think very much in Glasgow in particular, that a lot of people are waking up on Sundays and absolutely dying in their beds and having to paracetamol and not really leaving the house all day, and they kind of feel a bit cramping down about themselves. Whereas for us, we were wanting a sort of alternative for people to sort of kickstart their day in the sort of right way, and that's why, you know, originally we started. And again, like you said, the difficulties that brought was just try to get people down, try to sort of get people still going, and we were putting money into it, knowing that, you know, we were never going to get anything back, but for us, it was as long as we were getting some sort of benefit out of it, and as long as everybody else was coming down, was enjoying themselves and getting any benefit at all from it, even if it was a brief 5-minute conversation with somebody that they might not have had all day, to just even a smile on their face. We were just looking for, you know, MD and everybody to come down and have a good time. And then unfortunately, just the difficulties of getting people down, you know, became a bit too much for us, and that's when we decided to shift and go to Kaizen Run Club in Glasgow.
So Kaizen was the next big step, because obviously you're pushing. You and Ben are pushing other guys. I mean, I tried to give them the meetings, but it was just too early for me on a Sunday morning, because I was working late on Saturdays. But But what was your? See, we're talking about mental health, right? Did you ever have a mental health challenge? Because I know that running's really good for your mental health, but was there anything that really was challenging for you two individually, or you two collectively? Did you ever fall out about anything? Were you always?
I don't think it was ever a thought. I think my sort of it was more of a demoraliser. See that, and it's the same with any sort of project. And I think Ben will agree that any sort of project, you know, you treat it like you're sort of your own baby, your own child, and it's demoralising in itself that you put so much effort into something, and you try to get people down, and it didn't really sort of come off. And I think maybe in our own sort of way we beat ourselves up about it. But when we talk to people now, and they always sort of bring up the people that did come down to Eclipse, they always talk about it in a positive light. And I think regardless of how many people came down, whoever did come down got some sort of benefit out of it. And I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. I mean, I would rather 5 people come down and get some benefit on their Sunday morning, or just a benefit to their week, than nobody. You know what I mean? It's better than nothing. So, for us, it was never really, it was just demoralising and a bit sort of, because you know, you put a lot of time and effort into things, and sometimes it just doesn't come off. But again, that's just life.
So, on you go. I was going to say to add to that, a lot of people just don't put themselves out there. So like, they'll have these ideas and they just like sit with them. They won't ever do anything, and like it's a fear of failure. Like, again, like, put yourself out there and see if you fail. Like, go again.
And that's an excellent point, because that's how I always feel when I look back on doing the walking group, that you know, we gave it a go, you know, and we tried something.
We could start it again, Brian.
Exactly, 100%. Like,
you know, and Ben said to me at you actually said to me at New Year, so just again, positive energy, you might say. You're up here at New Year and you just said, so what's your goals? You've just been flipping. What's your goals for this year? and even called me Mr. Mitchell for some strange reason. And I said, as ever, you know, as long as my family, my kids are okay. But I actually did reflect on that and thought, what are my goals? So I get back to playing football, tried that walking club, and, you know, and the benefits to that, spoke to, you know, then Paul approached me and says, come on, we'll get the podcast back in action. So when I look back on this year, I look back on 2025, it's been positive. I'm in my 50s now. But you were a motivator, Ben.
I know.
You were a motivator, Mr. Motivator.
Yeah.
You might be too young to remember who he was. And you helped me deal with, because as you know, Ben, I've got problematic children. I've got 2 boys that, you know, that's why I'm like that. You know, I used to go full head of hair.
I think he's going that way.
I'm going. There's a reason why I've got this IB for my final boss circuit. I'm going almost like him.
But Brian's right. I mean, 2 years are so inspirational because when I watch your videos, I'm like that, right? Usually I'll do a 5K, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine going like that, right? I've done 1K in, right? I'm doing 2K in. You're just taking 10s. And
all I'm saying is it's not always 10K, but
I don't know.
See the amount of times
95% of the time he forgets.
he's telling me, oh, you've not done a video.
I know, but so it's probably that makes it us even worse. You've probably done it. Oh, it's 15K in. I'll do the 10K now. I mean,
Ben, do you have your own channel, or is it just you do Instagram lives when you're running? What is it?
So I've got my own Instagram page, just fitness and stuff, and then I post more on TikTok. But it's not to take it anywhere; it's just to show people like what you can do and like how like you can just put yourself out there. And like for me, it isn't like trying to take it somewhere or like work with brands or whatever. It's to motivate people to go out and do it. Like if you look at me, I might look as if I'm from like a good, or I'm from a good background, but like I'm just a normal individual. Like I hope someday.
Ben, I'm getting you a Christmas present this year, and it's going to be Mr. Motivator.
So I hope like people just look at me and go, I can do that. Like that's what I want from it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want anything else. Like if somebody was to tell me I went and ran something because of you, that would generally make my day. Like not even make my day, make my year.
So where does Kaizen that comes in, right? Where do they come in, and are they kind of the saviour to keep you going? So you've got more people to run with, and it gives you more an urge and more.
Yeah, definitely. I think for us that, you know, the sort of Eclipse coming to a close was a bit of we were a bit demoralised with running. We weren't really sort of sure. And again, if you want to talk about Mr. Motivator, it was that man right there who got me. He go down to Kaizen myself. He'd already been down a few times and was telling me how great it was and how good the people were. And again, I think it was just my sort of own naivety to it all. I was just a bit scared. But then I got myself down. I actually remember our first sort of Kaizen that we went together was hill sprints up a sort of back street near Sucky Street, and it was a January night, and it was all icy, and it was brutal. It was murder. But even in that sort of short interaction with people that we met there.
How many people would you say was that? About 30, 40 people?
30, 40 people in
turning up in a December night.
Right, in a back street, you know, in the middle of Glasgow, just sort of terrible night and just going for it. And that's that's what we sort of really took from it. And it was like we realised that it was just full of like-minded people and people who want to sort of push themselves. And again, like me and Ben, you might see in Ben's TikTok that we do all this mad mental sort of distance miles and, you know, running for 12 hours straight. But we all started somewhere. Everybody that goes to Kaizen started somewhere.
Yeah.
Anybody goes to sort of any run club has to start somewhere.
Yeah. So
for us, it was even.
It created a good community as well, didn't it, guys? Because you know, you got Kaizen outfits, and obviously, I would imagine it comes with that WhatsApp groups, meeting people, making friends for life, all these different types of things.
I'd
He's
say
somebody to work for. Creates a
Aye.
community. Love that.
I'd say it's been good in that sense that like we've definitely met pals that we'd never ever come into contact with. Like,
Yeah.
like we've generally got pals all across Scotland now, just for running. And like these people are serious people. Like they're winners. Like they want to push the boundaries and see where their body can take them. And like even being surrounded by that makes you push yourself even further. Like you're like, I want a bit of that. So just having the types of people around you is sick.
Do you ever have to do what when we Paul Quinn, a certain mean Mr. Paul Quinn went up a hill? How far was that hill? And with my dodgy knees, and did you ever have to do this one? Paul kept saying to me, oh, it's just up 5 yards. Just up next 10 yards, that's us done. Next 10 yards, I think you're done it for about 8 hours. I'm like, you're at it. But before too long, I'm hanging onto a cliff. Wind going everywhere.
That was one of the most like for me and you, Brian. Before because for me it did look we're not almost there at the summit. And tell the story about that, Brian. What happened? What were we doing for that day?
It was for
We Wido was doing a thing with a couple of boys, and it was for
wee Jamie Tierney.
Jamie Tierney.
And that's going to be another episode in itself, and maybe touch base with their family.
Well,
but
I spoke to Jamie, and Jamie's would be interested in doing something.
Yeah. So that's how we done a kilt walk for me, Jamie's journey as well. But they were going to be doing the Ben Nevis or Ben's. So we turns up. Was it Ben Lomond or something?
It was Ben Lomond we done.
Yeah. So turns up, no idea what I was letting myself in for. Pair of joggies. Sun was splitting the sky. Pair of joggies, t-shirt. Indoor football trainers. Right? No bother. Piece of cake. Then people start turning up with the walking canes and stuff, and bags to pee in and stuff. Right? And I'm like, what's going on here? And
it was funny, Brian. It went from being dead sunny to just a cloud appeared.
Because we were away up in the sky. There was still snow there. Like months ago, but you boys knew. So I was saying to Adam, you'll never be able to do that. See, you can run all your miles. They're now running up these hills.
I know.
You know what I mean? I know. We're back down 5 minutes.
But just to get back, actually, so you're talking about the community aspect of the Kaizen, right? So that if there's somebody who, so for example, like people who loneliness kills, right? Loneliness is a massive part of some people's mental health. So was there sometimes people just turning up to go to this club, just obviously for to gain friendship and just to help themselves, like individual people? Did you ever come across that? Without getting names away and this.
I mean, I can't speak for sort of them individually and sort of their own sort of background, but I will like highlight sort of a few. So there was a few guys that were maybe coming up for England who were doing their studies up here, and I think they were just sort of looking for any sort of social interaction that could help them sort of settle into life in Glasgow. I don't think he'll mind me saying, but our big mate Alex, who we done the Run the Borders ultramarathon with, he was from Southport, and he came up to these naval studies, and it was, I think it might have been that January night that went running for the first time. That was his first session as well, and then for there we sort of formed that friendship over a prolonged period, over the last sort of year, and then we all agreed that we would do that ultra marathon together. So I think there's a good example of a guy that came down, sort of new city, new surroundings, could have easily just sat in his room, very isolated, not up to too much, but he got himself out, got himself down, made himself a part of the community. And I mean, again, I'm doing another sort of backyard ultra marathon with Alex next year. So again, to me, that's a sort of a guy that could have easily sat in isolation, but has now made friends for life in that sort of community. Such good friends that I've actually got a tattoo of this man sitting next to me and Alex all running the Run the Borders ultramarathon, which again is obviously a very special day for us all, and I wanted to commemorate it. But again, there's a sort of guy that could have easily just sat in that isolated area, but he got his sell out and he made something of it. And that's all I could probably say on him.
But
I
ultramarathons.
know we've put on ultramarathon is 31 to 61 miles, but yours was
Yeah, I was gonna ask
67,
you.
wasn't it?
By the time we got lost, it ended up being 68 or something. But
Ended up in somebody's garden. They ended up coming out.
in some farmer's garden. But
See a question I'd like to ask, certainly on here, and I have sort of slightly discussed it, but mainly for even like Ben, I've never discussed this with you.
Yeah.
To do that, you have to have exceptional, in my opinion, exceptional mental strength, right? So from that point of view, and the last time we were on, Paul, we talked about the sort of neurological aspect of resilience.
Yeah.
So I'm always intrigued, after, especially in the back of that, what, Ben and Adam, what do you think gives you that unique endurance, that mental strength to no stop, basically, just to take up a challenge and just keep running and keep running and keep running?
I genuinely
It would take some mental toughness.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think we are probably both mentally tough as well, but I think for me personally, it's definitely the way you frame it.
Yeah.
And like, I genuinely don't think I've got the best, but I think it's just the way you frame it in your mind. So like, see when I'm doing the ultras, I don't think about the distance we are doing at that moment. I'm just working 10k by 10k. So like, I'm like, I know I can do 10k, so get to 10k. And then see when I get to 10k, I'm back at 0 again. And I'm working up to that 10k again. So it's just the way you frame it in your head. And it's the same with everything. Like, the way you frame things is just so important in life. Like, it makes so many things so much easier, and like, it creates just less problems for me anyway. I don't know how you do it.
For me, like, you know, my sort of example of like mental toughness was when we done Glasgow to Edinburgh, maybe about a month and a half ago. I'd go about 40 miles and turned around to Ben and was like, nah, I'm totally out of this. And I remember turning around and saying, I don't care if I walk, crawl, you know, whatever, I'll get to that sort of finish line. And I don't think that stuff like that comes, you know, over short periods of time. I think you need to go through sort of experiences in life and just sort of different challenges and difficult situations that eventually builds you up to that sort of like mindset and frame of mind. But again, like Ben said, you know, I could have easily just went, nah, that's me done. But the way I framed it was, I could crawl this, I could walk. It was that sort of positive sort of mindset that I think gets you places, and that just doesn't matter about running. You can add that to anywhere in life, and I think that's important. And I think that people are too easy just to put their hands up and go, no,
just chuck the towel in. That's
and just.
If you do that in life, I mean, obviously, I know the trees are young and quite successful. Anybody's watching, Ben, you're a bit of a young entrepreneur, Delboy style. So you get things on the go. Adam, you're doing tremendous things, achieving a lot. So do you have that? And what's the transferable skill is the question that I'm asking.
Again, it's just like any sort of workplace environment. It's got its own sort of, you can apply that to the run club. It's got its own sort of dynamics. It's got its own sort of politics. And you can bring that sort of into the workplace, which helps you navigate that and any challenge that's got. But I think in terms of just like struggles, you know, we're very calculated in what we do. And I think that can come into our workplace environment because, again, you know, you're obviously got a few years on us. And
come on, a lot older than us.
just double.
You know, you will face challenges in your sort of workplaces for, you know, all sorts of reasons. But again, I think it's just that sort of the way you frame it. If you get yourself in a room and you discuss it and you just, you know, again, all issues can be talked and solved out if you really want it to be. And I think that, that comes from the sort of running that, when I got to that stage of the ultra, for example, we sat and spoke for 5 minutes
Aye.
on what we were going to do next. I was insistent that Ben was going to go ahead and finish his race, and I was going to finish it somehow. And ultimately, he left me and went on and got that incredible time. But again, I think it's just sort of, in difficult situations, if you can come to some sort of agreement, then go for it.
Well, that's just going to ask. Obviously, Adam, your injury would be telling, right? And so, but obviously, days different ultramarathons would be. So, for example, if we're looking at the length of the ultramarathon, I know because sometimes they're all different. So you've got one at 31 miles, and then you've got one at 100 miles. Do you know, right? For example, the day I'll smash 31 miles, for example, right? But the other days, like I can't do this. So have you ever just said I'm not doing it?
No, because I think there's always a sort of way.
Always?
You will find a way. I think if you, again, it goes back to sort of what Ben said, if you can frame it in certain ways, not every day is going to be your day. Not every race is going to be your sort of day. But if you can frame it in a sort of way that you realise, no matter what my time is here, I'll get over the line, no matter how. There's always a way, you know what I mean? I think it's just, again, it's mindset. I think if you can take that sort of positive mindset into things, and there's some days I wake up and I just go, nah, I'm not feeling this. And I think that's very natural and very normal to do. But again, I think with everything in life, and it includes running, consistency is the key. If you can get up, if I can get up more days than I can and go for it, then I'm going to be onto something. You know what I mean?
No.
I can also vouch for that, because many, many days his parents have said, Adam, take a break, you're doing too much, and it just doesn't listen to us, which comes as no surprise.
I think, as parents, I think that's a good thing to say, but I also think it's like it kills a lot of folk as well. Like I'm not saying that to
But I'm not adverse to the idea of killing my kids. I have thought of that, Ben. It has crossed my mind about killing them.
Well, a few times with me, aye.
Anyway, sorry, on you go, Ben.
I just think like it's an easy thing to say, and it may look as if we're doing too much, but like genuinely we need pushed. Like see times where you think we're doing too much. That's probably like the time where we need pushed the most. We're like, just go out and do that. Like, don't stop, because like you putting that doubt in our head will then be like, oh, should we actually stop? And like we'll step back and reflect and being like, oh, we're actually doing too much when we shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean?
Right, boys. I'm going to ask you a question, right? And I just want the truth for you, right? And I'm going to try my best to pronounce what I'm about to say here, but it will come apparent, and I think it's probably the reason why Eclipse stopped, right? I'm going to try and say this out loud. So me and East Channel Pier, Purnhub, Kwan Nahin, Chala, Parahaha, Hun. Do you know what that is?
I don't. I just heard a certain website in amongst all that.
Was the reason for Eclipse? Was the reason for Eclipse shutting down because of Indian Pornhub?
Oh, jeez.
Tell us a story. What happened with this Indian?
Again, so that's kind of closes the sort of Kaizen chapter. Kaizen's no longer sort of
So of this week, Kaizen kind of came to a close, which is kind of like another big chapter for us. And like again, before we move on from this bit, I just want to say massive thanks to everybody that was there and helped us in our journey. We wouldn't be able to do half the stuff we've done without them.
So Kaizen's shutting down. So Kaizen's finishing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, I think that. I don't know if I could speak for Ben on this. The talk about like the sort of community and the people that we met and what we get pushed to. at the start of this year, I was certainly going through an interesting time in life, and I don't think if it was for the sort of people and the people pushing me to keep going for the next challenge, the next sort of goal, I don't think I'd be where I'm right now. And I think that is just a testament to that sort of running club and the people that go there. And it's devastating that it's finished for, you know, guys like me and Ben who go every week. It's, you know, we're going to miss it. But I owe that sort of community and run club a hell of a lot for the last sort of year that they've gave me and the sort of turnaround in my life since, you know, January time.
Would you know say Eclipse back again?
Well, this week there's kind of been talks about that, so definitely won't be anything too soon, but potentially in the future. We still need to speak to a few folk to see what the kind of gist of it is, but we don't want it just to be a club run by me and Adam again. We want it to be a community-based club, and it's here for everybody. It's not one person runs it and that's it, or me and Adam run it and that's it. We want everybody to be involved in it, and take it forward and have bits and pieces to do within the club themselves. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how you're going to like take something forward and get everybody running up each week and putting in their effort. Like if they've got a say or they've got like a role within it, they're going to have so much passion towards the club itself. So I think that's
again. I think it's like with everything in life. If someone gives you that sort of collective responsibility and sort of that challenge to, you know, provide ideas and make a real impact to sort of people and communities, then you know you're going to take that on the best you can. And I think that makes you excited to go to things. It pushes you to do better. So I talk about it from a collective standpoint. You know, if we ever did bring Eclipse back, I would never want it to be sort of dumb and dumber here. I would want it to be for the people. And again, it sort of brings back that sort of isolation topic what we've been talking about. I would hate to see the sort of people who maybe feel isolated that Kaiser's now done, that they don't have that sort of area to go down every weekend and talk to people and meet new people. I would hate for that to become something in their sort of lives. So again, like me and Ben will probably go away and talk about it and sort of continue the sort of, you know, step that Kaizen sort of created in Glasgow, because I mean it was really it was the first sort of big proper large scale running club that certainly we know, even from a commercial standpoint within Glasgow. They were doing things that not really anyone else has been able to match up to. So for us, that is the bar.
So it's set very high.
So it's set very high. And again, if we could sort of even replicate a community aspect, and like we said, with Eclipse originally, as long as we can get a couple of people doing and put a smile on their face and kick off their weekend, you know, that's what we do it for.
We do. We generally do.
Obviously, some guys are winding up, and that can be like your North Star. But when you started Eclipse, you were young guys, and it was limited to, you know, Bishop Briggs. He's a big boy now. You get, you know, you can drive, so you can meet at a, you know, city centre location or something like that, and you know, the world's more your oyster now, and you've got a better understanding. You've been part of Kaiser, and you maybe have seen how that operates, different levels. You've been part of a bigger community. So if you do decide to go that way, the very best luck to you, because I can see it does make a big difference, and it's certainly reap rewards for both of you. And obviously, I'm acutely aware of how much it helped Adam. And I hope that, you know, you get something out of it.
But before, I've got a wee surprise quiz for you, right? I know you'd like to race, right? So let's just see who's going to be the quickest at this race. So you need to answer, Brian. I need you to kind of figure out who answers the first question, right? And if they get it right,
Right,
so
go for
and
it.
you both need to agree on the question, right? So I'm going to give you 3 questions,
Have we got a buzzer?
and Brian's going to be he's going to work out who got the first point, right? So it's
No Willie Collum stuff here.
Aye.
no.
It'll be whoever bribes me the most.
So Brian could tell us, right? So let's get to the bonus questions, right? Hold on. First, on your marks, get set, go. First ultra marathon.
Run the blades.
Okay.
One. Brian, who got the first? Who? Brian, is that your boy?
I think Ben fell asleep for a second there.
Hardest race so far.
Glasgow, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, aye.
Oh, Adam.
Easy.
Yeah.
Best race experience.
London.
Run the
Well
balls.
done. 2-1.
2-1, and we'll throw in another wee question. But I don't actually have a question, Brian. You got a serious?
I'm sure yours is going to change, but it'll be changed by October.
Right. This isn't a question, but this is just what's the future plans, guys?
Yeah.
In terms of future marathons, ultra marathon. What you get booked?
What's
What
next?
you get booked? When is it the next time that we're going to hear, let's do this?
Yes.
That's more a question.
That's for me. So, me potentially, well, definitely, before the end of the year, I've got Malaga booked for December, so going over there to do that. But
Sorry, Adam, you're injured. I know that's a sore point.
Which is exciting, but racing it's off the cards for me. I've just after the ultra there, I've kind of just not fell away from running, but sometimes you need to step away to actually come back and enjoy it. So I felt like just taking the time away was the best thing to do. So got that, and then getting into next year, I've got nothing booked apart from High Rocks, which is something a wee bit different. I've done this before, but I'm so badly wanting the sub ever that I'll put all my effort into it and see how me and Connor get on. So that's all I've got booked, but he's got a bigger calendar than me next year.
I mean, for me, the most important thing is getting back fit and healthy for the sort of meniscus tear that I've got on and now. So from January onwards, it'll be head down. First race I've got is Paris Marathon. And then 2 weeks later, I've got a backyard ultra marathon, which essentially, for nobody that knows, is a sort of close to 7k loop on the hour every hour until you essentially can't go anymore. So I don't know. My early prediction would be that I run for 24 hours. That is the sort of goal, because that's 100 miles. Right. That's a goal that I've set myself, so hopefully I could do that. Then I believe a sort of week later, me and Ben actually have got a rally race in Manchester.
Really? No.
Really rally, same thing.
Really, so good to me.
See, he's were rubbish at school. You don't know geography. Adam never went to his English class. Ben, we have to say, how did you get into university, Ben? What was it? Is that a running class? Anyway, sorry, on you go, Adam.
So
we are BMX rally.
With our two good friends, Lucy and Emma, which shall be good. Good wee weekend away. And then for me after that, it is New York, which is booked and ready to go. So I'm my first sort of major marathon that I've managed to get into. So I'm looking forward to that, and especially my sort of favourite city that I've visited. That's my sort of main thing for next year. Well,
guys, look, it's been brilliant having you on. Thank you so much, Brian. Again, you've been exceptional.
One last question, obviously. One last question. For mental health purposes as well, what will Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Quinn be getting for the Christmas from Adam and Dad? Certainly.
I think I know what we can get them. Get them a few Eclipse tops and get them down the
Right,
wrinkle.
exactly.
Yes, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Are they
I'm
black?
so happy.
Time to strap up your knees.
Is it black? Is it black and white? Are they black and white? I'm into it.
They are black and white.
Thank you so much, boys.
No bother.
You've shown us friendship. You've shown us running. You've shown us mental resilience. And if you know, that can change everything for anybody who's got that. You have shown that you inspire people every single day when they're looking onto your TikTok, obviously, journey. We never really spoke about your TikTok journey, but I know that it's definitely inspirational for guys like myself. So I can only imagine what it's like for guys who are thinking about going and running and they want to be part of something big. So thank you so much for coming on, son. Oh, and by the way, Ben, are you all right for doing a couple of co-hosting gigs on this?
Co-hosting? I can do
Yes.
co-hosting if you want, aye.
Or running a couple of host shows with Adam would be great because obviously we're trying to get the question out for the mental health stuff out to everybody. And I think me and Brian are getting a bit older. So we want a couple of youngins in to
He's great. We're changing, Mark. You're good for the catchphrases. Me and Paul were actually going to rename ourselves. He's grey hair, I'm no hair.
the grey hair and the hair podcast. But
Adam, your mother's just come in. She says it's past your bedtime. You better get home, son.
Oh, that's fine. I'll
guys, thank you so much. Stay positive, stay connected, and keep rising, guys. See you later on.
Like, share, and subscribe, people. Please do.
Thank you so much, guys. Definitely, please like and subscribe. Speak to you soon. All right.
God bless.
God bless you all.